we could do a cultural seminar about the kind of music that, around town. Mariachi, Yaqui cultural, Mayo cultural, even Tohono O'odham, Waila music. Because, those are the genres that they play, culturally here around this area. My grandfather used to play in Los Elegantes in the 1960s, and before that, he played with Los Vagos in the 1950s. It's a trio music, was very, very popular in Tucson in its day, around the 50s and 60s, even up into the 70s. And that's the kind of music that's played. It's a Spanish music with 3 guitars, and it's very dynamic. I mean, the stylistic nuances are kind of like, they border between, Moroccan and Spanish flamenco, It has that kind of like gist and feel to it. And then it's accompanied with, arias and 3-part harmonies. So it's very beautiful music. My grandfather wrote a song about Tucson called La Joya del Oeste, or the Jewel of the West. And it was played quite frequently on KXCW in the early 80s. In fact, almost every August when they have the Tucson Raising of the Flags, they play that song. I've been in the ceremonies, the Yaqui ceremonies since I was 12, but I also been playing mariachi music since I was 14. So I'm privy to the festivals in both worlds. We're gonna have the Yaqui ceremonial dancers do a blessing. And it consists of beer singers that they play with raspers and a water drum, and they're singing to a syncopated rhythm, and that's a very complex rhythm that they got going, because on the other end are the Pascua dancers, and he plays to a tapaleo. Tapaleo has a drum and a flute, and he's playing at the same time, and when they're not doing that, they play to the harp and the violin. And that's the thing I like about the violin. The violin is a great denominator, because being of mixed heritage, being of both Yaqui and Mexican descent, I was inspired by the folklorico dances in my elementary school. They were so, I would stare at the stage at the girls twirling around with their beautiful dresses and their, and their satin ribbons affixed to their hair, and it struck chords in my heart. We're gonna do a Lifetime Achievement Awards here. I'm gonna go ahead and recognize some of the, some of the people that have contributed to the cultural music in this community for years. Michael Ronstadt is one of them. Gertie and the Tio Boys.
Nice.
Gertie Lopez. We're gonna do a Lifetime Achievement Award for Jim Griffith, and then we're gonna do one for Mateo Matos. He's a trio player from the 50s, the 60s, and 70s, and he needs to get a lot of recognition because he was one of those players that he played with all the groups. There was a trio group in town, he played with them. And my grandfather, Seferino Flores, with Los Elegantes, is music in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s.
De aquellas montañas se ve mi ciudad querida, ciudad de Tucson, Arizona. Yo quiero volverte a mirar. Pueblito bonito, te llevo en mi sangre. Desde que era niño te quiero yo así.